rest you'll regain, but I don't think you guys finish a
Yeah.
short rest.
Okay, so I probably have 5 then.
I know one of you's used a bunch.
I did. I kept on trying to use Toll the Dead.
I'm thinking of making the, not for this campaign, but in the future, the Echeveria's Fearsome 5-point Fireball bolt to cost a cantrip every time you charge it. I think that'd balance it. But we haven't even got to that point
Okay.
yet. Where's my face? All right. What did we do last week? You know, I came home early. I'm still tired. I still feel like I just got here. So, last week you guys assumed the role of a bunch of young magelings, and you went on a field trip with the Master Melodin of the Hills. You went looking for dragon scales, found some dragon scales, met with a draconic kobold, and he told you probably shouldn't carry those scales around because there's a weird conjure guy running around claiming things as his own. Some of those things just happen to be those scales. You brought them back to Melodin. You gave him the scales. One of you kept a shard. The what was it called? The Duke of Lions attacked the camp, and then in the process, Melodin has teleported you guys to a swamp somewhere. One of you almost died of drowning. Thankfully, you were found right away.
Sadly, it would have been funny.
It would have been funny.
Blub, blub.
Who was it? Was it Moya?
It was Moya.
She was face down.
Face down in the swamp mud. You guys regrouped. You camped out for a night, I believe. You then did a little more trekking. You got stalked by some live vines. You found a hut in the middle of nowhere in a nice little, well-kept area behind a cobblestone half fence. Three of you, well, one of you went to check it out, and then one of you cowered in the corner, and then the other two went to go check it out, or at least to stop you from checking it out, and then you checked it out a bit too hard, and three of you wound up inside the cabin with no recollection of having gone inside. And then on your way out, after you realized you're in the middle of a meal you didn't remember taking, you found a plaque that said some stuff, and that stuff was
Would you like to play a game?
yes, precisely. Telling you to go to the ruins of Manus' demise, the lost city of Mildoon. Place your hand upon the fallen Emperor King's throne, Explorer King's throne. You prove yourself worthy of the claim and the glory granted upon you by one Conadius Darfor. I believe all of you, or at least one of you, recalls that name as one of the fathers of alchemy and a general crazy man during the Second Era and the War of Man. The three of you that ate were Chud, Claude, and Moya. Go ahead and give yourselves HP if you lost any. And
I can't connect to the game.
no?
I'm getting timed out when I try to connect.
It's always something. Let's see.
I forgot.
Start pinging.
Did Jorkin die?
Not that you know.
Fuck. Okay,
Yeah.
team, we got to make sure Jorkin dies.
Connection appears closed. I'm going to close the game real quick. Yes, you guys, you're
Sir,
getting disconnected.
please open ports. Please allow root access, sir.
That's it. I'm going to play Dota.
All right, it should be good. And go ahead and roll your cantrip recovery if you have any cantrips missing. That is,
It's a
those
what?
of you who
One-
ate.
1d2, right?
1d3.
1d your intelligence modifier.
Yeah.
I gained 1 cantrip back last time. I think we talked about this last time. Or this
Wow. I see it's going to be one of those days. Starting off strong.
Rowan rolled 1d2. Oh, Rowan's here? What the fuck?
This takes place like a year after that, so I guess Rowan's confirmed to live.
Excuse me, guys. Please select the correct character in the logins.
Oh, did it not?
Now I see Rowan, Raph, and Claude. And Harmu's not even in game.
My login was Kaiman, so it's still, yeah, I'm the right character.
I have no idea how to actually set the character name. Oh, see, I think I could do it for you, actually. I did it for you. All right. Are we ready? The
I believe
episode
so.
2 of level
Nope.
0.
It's still, so I'm not able to roll for Moya.
That's weird. It says you have
Actually,
Moya on
hold
the
on.
player list. Just when you roll, click on Moya and then roll.
Ah, okay.
What does the N stand for
What N?
in Moya? N, yes.
Oh,
And
it was. Eh, no, wow. Now it was supposed to be mayonnaise.
Good
I
lord.
see.
Mayonnaise.
Yes.
Powerful. All right. Okay. You guys generate your cantrips. Those of you who ate Ava as the cowards, huddled outside by a tree, totally not surrounded by live vines. You're kind of just witnessing the fact that your party has walked into this place and has not exited for like 10 minutes. And then, upon finishing reading the plaque, you hear a pop somewhere within the cabin. And then quickly, almost as if it just happened, you see everything that is flammable is starting to catch fire.
You know, the food isn't that bad. This is fine.
I think we should leave.
Yeah, probably a good idea when it's on fire.
I shoved some food down into my uniform and then run out.
Right? Moya grabs some food, runs out, door swings open. Ava, you see Moya fleeing from the now burning building, which is quickly engulfed in flames over the course of like 10, 12 seconds. I imagine Chud and Claude follow suit and not just stand there silently.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck dying to fire.
All right. You guys leave the building and you turn around to look at the shack, and it is indeed fully in flames. In a matter of seconds, maybe 30, it is now crumbling upon itself and burning down to the foundations.
You know, this is why in Lights Watch we use stone.
Well, what do you guys do as you contemplate the not to code structure that you just escaped from? As
I
you
don't know
sit
why
here
I
in the
say not
middle.
to code. I'm not sure why saying not to code makes it even funnier.
It's the plight of us city dwellers.
Not OSHA compliant.
I'll look around
Obviously,
for Ava.
these guys didn't pay for an inspector to come back 5 times to tell them that this is wrong and they gotta do it again, but not tell them what is wrong. Alright, so what are you guys up to as you stand here in the middle of the swamp? The actual yard of this place is still the same, though. Looks nice, well kept. Well
I
kept.
sit down on the grass and I check the food that I have, in case it was all an illusion.
Um, it looks like the food. It looks like the food is the same as it was.
I look at the other guys. I should have grabbed some. Yeah, munch on it.
We'll go over to the fence and see if Ava's still hiding behind it. Or see if we can spot Ava.
Ava, are you there?
Of course, it's this guy looking for him.
Fuck you. I hate you so much, Armin. Oh my god.
About to link the stream to the actual Ava.
Oh my god, man.
That would be dies a cringe.
If Ava hasn't moved from where she was cowering in, she's still there and totally not
Yeah, I'm still there.
sucked dry by live vines. What is your guys' next plan of action as you sit here in the swamp? In the nice foresty part of the swamp that seems to just exist in a 20 by 20 square.
So, should we try to find out where we are? Kind of find like a body of water?
I don't know that we're ever going to find where we are. I feel like we need to find the. We're not going to be let out of wherever we are, find other people till we think we find that city.
It might be easier to find a city if we know where on Terra we are.
And people tried to find the city in the past and not succeeded.
No, it's also quite cold again and lightly drizzling.
Man, I wish that house stayed. Can we use the fire from the house?
As you guys begin this conversation, the house is pretty much ash. It is lit up in a blaze, and everything is gone,
It's over.
save for a like stone-ish foundation. What do you guys do?
Alright, we could keep going east. Were we going east or west? I think we were going
Southeast.
east. No,
I just
we
follow
were
the
going
guys.
southeast and then we were
Southeast it
going
is.
east.
And Claude will just start walking southeast.
I believe you guys went south first, and then started going southeast, and then just went east.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Alright, let's keep going east then.
All right, you guys continue on heading eastward. I'm going to. I'll just leave you guys there. It's fine. You guys travel east, and as soon as you pass by this little foresty kind of nice prairie clearing, it's all swamp again. You're back trudging through shin-high swamp mud and water, and the animals and the creatures of the swamp are a lot more prominent again. You can see those vines hanging everywhere, but not all of them seem to be alive. Some of them do sway in your guys' direction from time to time. Everybody give me wisdom or perception checks as you're walking for about an hour, let's say. It's a successful Percocet check.
Damn.
Sometime during the trek, let's say towards the end of the hour, Ava, you see what looks like a finely crafted dagger slammed into a tree. Like, it is down to the hilt into the tree.
Alright. Can I get it out?
You can try. Would you like to make a strength check or an athletics check?
I'm gonna try an athletics check.
Okay. Ooh. You guys hear Ava grunting a bit as you walk through, and the Martian you stop to see, and she is pulling on what looks like the handle of a dagger, as she really, really gets at it. And it looks like it's about to budge, but then she slips a bit and nearly falls ass first into the mud behind her.
Oh, surely you'll grab a random dagger, but not go into a house.
Where's the dagger? Where's the dagger stuck in?
The dagger is stuck at about 5 feet up the base of a tree. It looks like it is angled downwards.
Would we recognize this dagger in any capacity from the built-in handle?
Do you have any proficiencies that would aid in that? History, heraldry, local
Unironically,
history,
yes,
world
history.
history.
Yeah,
It's
history.
It is 100% a Western-made dagger, as far as you can tell. with the proficiency alone.
Let's see if we can identify where in the west, maybe.
Where is Claude from? He's a Black Bloom, correct?
Yeah, from we'll say, yeah, we'll say a small village, like unmarked village, like northish of the Rosenwasser.
Unmarked Village Road. Did he live in
Oh God,
Lights
no.
Watch before? Or
Yeah, for like
Central?
most, yeah, for like most of his life.
What are Claude's parents like? What were they into when they lived around Lights Watch or Central?
Mom works as a priest, and dad's a whitesmith.
Also, mother was into minotaurs.
No, that's a
Oh my
paladin you're thinking of.
God. Can I try and pull the dagger out?
You can try. Claude, go ahead and make me a luck check at plus 10.
You know what? Fuck this. I'm getting water.
Would I use strength or athletics?
Strength or athletics.
Okay,
As always, the skill will provide better results.
I'm using strength. Fuck.
You try as well, and you feel like you got a good grip on it, but at the last second, as you feel like it's just about to budge, your hands give out first.
Well, you guys suck. I can't even get this thing out. Like, what are you going to try? Like athletics or what?
Strength or athletics?
Yeah, I probably won't be able to do it, but I will try.
Remember, you miss every swing you don't. Moya, you try as well. You know what? Third time's the charm, right? You grab the dagger, you start to pull, and you feel like it's just about to make a little bit of leeway. You can see a little bit of the sheath, a little bit of the blade, unsheath itself from the tree ever so slightly. And then you fall, and then you stumble backwards.
Well, we almost got it.
Is Claude back? Would he like to give it a go? Surely, these three have loosened it up for you.
Morgan might have killed himself.
His dice are doing that for him.
What if we tried together?
Power
Sure.
of friendship.
The power of friendship, yeah.
You got a standard sized dagger with only the handle really sticking out. You can't really get a finger around the hilt. So how would you do this? How would you describe to me how you go about doing this with the power of friendship roll?
Alright, I grab the dagger. Moya hugs me.
Okay.
Chad hugs Moya.
Okay.
And we all pull.
We're going about it in a like Three Stooges, Looney Tunes
Okay,
kind
you know
of
what?
way.
Got it. I will hug.
All right.
I will.
But
I will hug Moya.
It's gonna be like that one meme where it's like everyone's on the truck, they're all pushing, and I'm on the truck bed.
Oh my god.
All right. Ava is on the dagger. Moya's on Ava. Chud's on Moya. So
Yeah.
Ava roll first, then Moya, then Chud.
Wait, what are we rolling?
Strength or athletics, whichever you prefer.
We're doing well. I guess That's a great person to have in the middle right there. You know, you know.
Ava, you pull, but then Moya pulls a little too hard, and you let go. But then in the process, Moya ends up dropping you as Chud yanks Moya back, also dropping her. Everyone but Chud is now waist deep on their butts in swamp mud. The dagger still sitting pretty in its little tree sheath.
Well,
You know what? I'm gonna grab some mud and I'm gonna loop that dagger a bit.
oh my god.
All right. You grab some mud and you slop it onto that dagger.
On like the blade and the tree. Not
Blade
on
in the
the
tree, not on the handle, because that'd be dumb.
not on the handle. Yeah.
All right. The
Now I try again.
Okay, you try again. You're not doing the Three Stooges attempt?
No.
I don't think we're going to do that. The power of friendship is overrated, honestly.
I give up.
This time, you don't even get a good grip on it. You try your best. Maybe your hands are a little too muddy, and your hands just slip off the dagger before the dagger does any moving.
You know what? Fuck it. I just cast a fucking thunderclap where the dagger is.
You thunderclap the dagger. Well, technically, thunderclap is a 5-foot square around yourself, so you just gotta get right next to it.
Yeah.
Kind of based.
What if we both thunderclap and vibrate it out of the tree?
All right.
Send straight into Chad's chest.
It's like
Final destination.
it's the Dark Souls rejections incantation.
Claude, while you were gone, you just missed everyone attempting to pull this dagger out of the tree, and then a Three Stooges attempt where Ava grabbed dagger, Moya grabbed Ava, Chud grabbed Moya, and they all pulled at once. Didn't do anything. Would Claude like to have interjected during any of this before
Okay.
Ava attempts to thunderclap the dagger out of the tree?
Look, I'm just going to show you what would happen. What would have been? What skill would it have been to pull it out?
Strength or
Athletics?
athletics?
Okay, let's say we use strength. We would have done it.
Well,
You know, it's funny. It's funnier this way.
Yep.
So Claude just walks up after watching all that and then takes it out.
would you like to have this be a real roll, Claude?
You know, fuck it, sure.
Claude, you stand there, mouth agape, as your classmates attempt to remove this dagger from the tree, all failing one after another. And then you watch Ava spill some mud onto the dagger's blade, hoping it would lube it up and get it out of that tree a little easier. You just walk up and yank that bad boy out of that sucker. And you have in your hand now a muddy dagger.
You guys know that you're supposed to pull it, right? Not push it or try to like lever it. Just pull it straight out.
Shut the fuck up.
Fuck you.
We loosened it up.
That is true.
Okay.
Yeah, like Moya's now like just pouting.
Would we have like a would we have water skins at all?
Would you have what?
Would we have water skins at all?
No. You guys
I guess-
have your clothes that you had on when you were teleported, or anything else you were holding at the time.
Is there any water near us?
There's water everywhere. You're in a swamp.
Yeah, let's get the mud off the
Your feet
dagger.
are covered in mud, and above your feet is just water, muddy water. Yeah, you can splash the dagger around in the water. And
I'm manifesting that dagger is always dirty forever. I'm divining that the dagger will never be clean.
nothing ever happens portent. Sadly, your portent fails with a 99.
I'm going to kill myself.
Claude, you have in your hand a
Oh, here's the dagger. If you want to do that, Judd?
very finely crafted dagger. You said you
What's it look to be
lived
made of?
you lived in Lights Watch as a child, correct?
Yes. Moved like 2 years old from the Rose.
Yeah. And with that history check, I will give it to you. At first, it just looks like a fine ornate dagger. The blade itself has some etchings in it that look like rose vines, and the hilt itself looks like it's kind of like a rose
Wood.
stem with thorns. You
Well, that's
have
interesting.
heard of this. Maybe either one of your parents have spoken about it once or twice, but it is a rare item with some. It's a very rare item that has been seen once or twice in Lights Watch, and it's usually carried by a particular underground crime organization.
It's from the fucking nettle, isn't it?
It's the Thieves Guild.
With
It's the
that
Dark
history check,
Brotherhood.
you can surmise that this is what they call a life thorn dagger.
Would I know anything about what it's kind of like got for reputation, if anything? Or is it just
Mm,
like a style kind of thing?
Hey, let me see that.
Okay. Don't stab yourself with it.
I would ask you for another
Or-
history check.
Actually, out of all the things, Moya is actually proficient with that.
Yeah,
That's
Moya
still
could roll it too.
good.
He ain't know shit
It's
about
gonna be
dragons, but he apparently knows history.
it's gonna be a history, right?
Yes. All right. The both of you know that the Lifethorn dagger is a status symbol amongst this gang. I'm not sure if I actually renamed them because I know that I retconned a bit of that from campaign 1.
Oh
But
yeah,
it
is that the
is
one where I kept on stabbing someone with it?
yes. It is a status symbol. It is granted to someone who has done a great deed for the leader of that gang. Yeah, the nettle.
It,
The
it's
nettle's fine. The nettle's still fine to call him.
No, what would have been the name?
Uh, it's still a nettle. I think it still fits. Not much is known about them. They do tend to carry out uh, assassinations, usually of other criminals or higher ranking officials in some places. They always tend to be paladins or priests.
so you're saying that this dagger can go from level 1 burglar to level 50 crime boss?
Pretty much. But the people who carry this tend to be very important people in that organization, or important to the organization, even if they're not in it.
Well, this is good because this at least means kind of one thing. It means we're somewhere near Lights Watch in some capacity.
Fuck.
Bros?
That's also a bad thing. We're
How
near
are we
Lights Watch
near? How are we near Lights Watch?
because this dagger is associated with the gang from Lights Watch.
we're more likely, somewhere near Vethel or like Sanctuary with as much water as there is everywhere.
I mean, just because maps don't have major rivers doesn't mean there's streams and stuff.
We're in a swamp. It usually means that there's a lot more water than a river feeding it. Dude, we're actually in River's Bend again. The River's Bend.
Oh no.
The water's gonna turn red at some point.
It's a red. The city's on fire. There's tornadoes everywhere.
Are there for the major swamps in kind of like the northern area? Is there any like major things that are known about them that would like identify and set them apart?
The acid marsh is a marsh of acid. So you would know immediately by standing in this water. It also has a very sour smell to it. The flora and fauna there also are very alien in nature.
Because of the
live
proximity
living
to the bloodwood?
trees tend to be a mix of petrified wood and weird yellowish kind of plant. I'm not sure how else to explain it. Fleshy yellow plants.
Gross.
The bloodwood is not a swamp, but you would know if you're in the bloodwood because there's a lot of red everywhere. And
Also,
the
you'd
forest
probably
is
be
very
killed.
Nicandra-like.
You'd also probably be killed.
That too. The dark marsh, though its name is dark marsh, it has nothing to do with it being dark. It's just the northern marsh where the dark elves, aka the Drow, live. At least the bulk of their population. And the flora and fauna there tend to be similar to the dead marsh, but how would I say this? The dead marsh is more like
Hey.
no, I'm thinking flora. Dead marsh is more typical to what you would see in, say, a savanna forest, evergreen forest, stuff like that. While the dark marsh is a bit more Florida-y, with those big trees with those big like roots that stretch out underneath it like a canopy, kind of like you could hide under the roots if you wanted to.
Would any of the trees be fast or be something we'd see in either of these?
They look a bit more like the dark marsh, but there are bits and pieces of dead marsh here. It's kind of a minor amalgamation of the two, but that's just like a piece here and a piece there. It really is nothing like either of those, as Ava has already demised. As Ava has already figured out herself with her own nature and survival checks and history checks from the previous session.
Well, if we're in one of the major swamps on Terra, we could
We're
probably
not.
just. Okay, we might be able to get an idea if we walk in any direction.
That is one of the most asinine things I've ever heard.
That's what we're doing. We're walking in a major direction, east.
You just need to berate him for like 10 minutes straight, and that's like a straight fucking. That's almost a genetics quote.
The fucking unmovable object and the unstoppable force of Avenine and Morgan.
That would be so funny. She was like, I can type and play D&D. I'm like, if you just spoke, you could play D&D, and it would be the funniest fucking shit. I would make a 300% shitpost character. If you thought the Jamaican necromancer was a shitpost, it would literally just be a fucking shitpost character.
Moya, pick a direction.
So you say that we're near Lights Watch. Exactly what direction does that put us at?
Yes.
So we go too far. If we go, let's say whatever west is, we're gonna end up in the wastes. If we go east, we'll end up at Lights Watch, and we don't want that.
Well,
And I think we would have hit them if we were really near Light's Watch by now.
if we're in one of the swamps, just going south would probably be best. We're obviously not on the Ashid Marsh because Moya has a face. And we could be in the Dead Marsh or Dark Marsh, and if we go east in the Dead Marsh, we'll leave it. But if we go east in the Dark Marsh, we'll run into Kanos Valley. And do you guys really want to deal with Centaur when we can barely cast spells? Basically, we either hit water or we hit sand, and then we know where we are. Or we get killed by a Minotaur, and we definitely know where we were.
Again, we are not in the Dark Marsh.
So which direction do you want to go, Ava?
East.
And
We've
Moya?
been going east.
I don't know. I'm pissed off about the whole thing.
Still mad about the dagger?
Yes.
It's understandable.
All right. You guys continue heading east then?
Yep. East.
Go east.
Okay. I mean, I doubt this is the case, but do any of you have direction sense?
Fuck no.
All right.
Yes.
You do.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, when we started, the sun was up. I was looking at the sun. The
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
sun-
Harmu went and did the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean the actual feat.
Oh, no.
You guys continue walking east for another hour, unless you guys want to stop for any reason. Go ahead and everybody make me a perception check, and then who's navigating this eastward trek?
You know, I will navigate. I will lead since I'm most likely.
No,
To,
I will navigate.
All right, the navigator, would you please make me either a wisdom or intelligence check? Or a survival check, actually. That'd work too.
Damn. Okay, but I'm most likely to ensure nothing happens.
Anybody else making perception checks? Aside from Ava and Chud?
Yeah.
This would be the perfect time to have a D60, actually. Damn. We'll leave it at that. Ava, about 40 minutes into your trek, you recognize that, I think I've seen that tree before. Huh. But also, you see, you and Chud notice the body of a dwarf.
A dwarf?
Did we have any dwarf classmates?
No.
No.
Dwarves are incapable of using the arcane, and you would never have a dwarf classmate as a
Dude,
wizard.
are we in the fucking Varwood? Bro.
That's not a swamp.
But there's a river close enough to it that it could feed into the western side.
The
The
dwarf
Barwood
is
has
about
giant.
100 feet away from you guys. He is leaning up against the tree on his right shoulder, facing away from you.
Facing away from us?
Yes. But by his size and stocky nature and his armor, you can definitely tell, as for educated individuals, that is a dwarf.
Also, the fact they're short.
Well, he's
Or a
probably
fat
taller
kid.
than all of you. Dwarves aren't
What
really
the fuck?
dwarves in my world. They're about 5'2" to 5'8" and wide.
I don't like that.
I
Did we
feel-
retcon it?
that feel when not a dwarf in Poppy Quest.
No, you're a
God
dwarf
bless.
in Puppy Quest.
I am 1 inch above the dwarf cutoff.
You're a tall dwarf.
That is so fucked up.
King of the dwarves, one might say.
Fuck, bros.
Damn, so the dwarves are gonna simp for Ava 9?
I don't know. I don't think that's how that worked historically. Most dwarf players, I think, in WPSG spurred out. Or were spurgs. Anyways, I'm gonna walk towards the dwarf corpse.
Okay. You walk towards a dwarf corpse. As you get closer, you
How do we know it's a corpse?
That's what I'm gonna call out to it.
it doesn't respond. It moves slightly though.
Oh no!
Back up. I know if they're alive. Holy shit, is that an elf?
It shudders a bit, but it doesn't move from where it's leaning.
That's
By
clearly Drow.
Terra, it's getting closer. The elf is getting closer.
It doesn't move.
You are an elf.
Actually, no. I am around here.
God damn it, I'm just playing along, Moya.
Poke it with a stick.
You cover the entire 100 feet to poke it.
Yeah, we're advancing towards him.
Yeah, we're advancing towards it.
Is all of you advancing or just the two of you?
All of us.
I don't know.
We're dragging Ava.
All right. You guys drag Ava along as you advance towards this dwarf. Moya, you get close enough to poke it with a stick, correct? Plenty of sticks around here in these swamps.
How big are the sticks? At least a 5-foot stick.
You could probably find a decent sized branch. Maybe not 5 feet, but like a yardstick.
Okay, a yardstick. I poke it.
You poke the dwarf. It shudders slightly, and then you hear sort of a guttural groan come from it.
I clear out my throat, and then I try and remember how dwarves talk. But should I do a history check, or should I be just absolutely racist?
Either's fine.
Okay, let me do a history check, then I can be racist.
We shouldn't be racist improperly.
That's true. It has to have some.
Okay, while staying out of its reach, can Claude rotate around to its front?
Yes.
Never mind. She doesn't know. She's just gonna be very racist. Oi! Are you drunk again?
It's Rowan's like spirit animal.
As you do this, Claude, you rotate around to the front of the dwarf, and you'll see the dwarf. He looks a bit pale. He is leaning up against the side of this tree, and he looks like he's trying to scratch at his breastplate. Well, he is scratching at his breastplate, but it seems kind of
What's
odd.
wrong? Is there anything wrong with it?
Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. Just sort of like clawing at maybe the solar plexus area.
He has leather straps on his chest plate, right?
He's wearing full plate armor.
Oh,
Does he have a helmet on?
He has like the face mask part of the helmet looks like it's been ripped off, but he has I would say like a skull cap still.
Okay, does he look like he's alive, or are we dealing with a Zambino?
You're looking at him. You're looking at him scratching his breastplate. Then you notice that his eyes do track you for a second, but then he looks away.
Would I do a medicine check on this?
What do you
Or
intend to do?
is he like guttural or breathing
Um,
or not breathing?
he's breathing. He's moving. He just kind of does this guttural sort of groaning noise.
Would any of us know how to take off plate armor?
Nope.
Probably
Nope.
not normally. I mean, you would know that plate armor is kept in place through leather straps. So if you really wanted to get him out of his armor, you can just cut away at those straps. It's probably the
Yeah,
quickest way, but
I'm
it will
gonna
destroy
try
the
and
usefulness
use
of it.
that life dagger to cut away and try and help the dwarf.
Okay. You begin cutting away at the leather straps, keeping his armor together. Go ahead and make me a dexterity or wisdom check. Claude, are you helping Moya do this?
Yarp.
Go ahead
Which
and
I don't
make
think
me
is
one
going to
as well.
matter. Oh, we're not doing a help
This
check. Okay, spicy.
this life dagger sucks. It's dull.
You said dexterity?
Dexterity or wisdom?
And I think dexterity would be funnier if we pass. Fuck.
You two fumble around trying to get this dwarf out of his armor. He does another one of those groans, and he kind of starts clutching. No, not clutching. Maybe striking at the armor where he's attempting to grasp it. Do you continue to attempt to remove him from his armor?
Actually, can we put our arm down his breastplate, or is it like really
No.
clamped up tight? Because he's trying to grab something.
It's clamped up tight. I mean, if you could shove an arm into somebody's armor like that, that's not good armor.
Damn. Uh, well, there should be straps around, right? Like straps that unclasp. I
Well,
try
yeah,
and check for
you're
that.
you're trying to cut at the armor, but be it nerves or you're just not a very dexterous person or very good with your hands at all, you're having some trouble getting it out. You have cut some straps loose. Let's say you got like a shoulder pauldron starting to come off.
Yeah, but aren't these like about belts? There's like at least something to actually hold them in place. Like,
Yeah, of course.
a squire helps them, right?
Yeah.
I will try to help
I,
Moya.
I try and stop panicking, and I try and look for these belts.
All right, go ahead and make me a wisdom or dexterity check. Everyone who's trying to help, go ahead and make your own.
Yeah, it was. Damn it!
I love it. It's perfect. You're all a bunch of dumb kids. Chud and Moya, you guys seem to not be making too much headway, but through the assistance of Claude, you eventually start to get at these straps. As you begin to undo the second pauldron, the first pauldron has been cut free. The second pauldron has been successfully unbelted, and you make your way down towards the chest plate area on the sides. The guttural groan becomes more of a gurgling scream as he sort of shoots upright in this kneeling position and then falls backwards.
Breathing or dead?
He's breathing very slightly, and you see him reaching out towards the swamp mud. And then he stops moving.
Okay,
Whereas-
what about using gust to force air into his his mouth and his lungs?
It's an interesting idea. You can I'm not gonna stop you from trying. Let's see where fate goes.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Is there any saves or anything like that for Gust? Or is it just a thing that
I'm gonna
happens?
do a medicine check. See what's going on here.
You can go ahead
I
and do
mean, it's a
medicine check as well.
strength. It's a strength save or be pushed, but you can also choose to fail something.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the wherewithal to even try that. You, Ava, before this gust happens, you do your medicine check. From what you can tell, this guy is either suffering from some extreme illness or he has an internal injury of some sort that you can't see currently. He's either lost all his blood or he is dying of some poison or disease or something like that.
All right.
Go ahead
Since
and make
he
me
doesn't.
a intelligence or history check with that, though. I'll give you some more information if you pass.
Hint.
You know that dwarves tend to be rather resistant to poisons unless they are of the magical sort.
All right. Since he's no longer like wearing his plate armor, can I see like?
No, his plate's still on him. He just the
Ah.
shoulders are off. And as they were
Okay.
about to go towards removing the actual breastplate, the shell on the sides with the straps, he did the whole falling backwards bit.
Can I see if there's any like?
But did he ragdoll and have the half-life?
Yes, he is ragdolling slightly as his arms stretch out. As he looks towards the swamp and his arms stretch out in the northern direction. What you can assume is the northern direction, just by where you've been walking.
Right. Can I see if there's any like bruising or something like that around the neck or like parts of the skin I can see?
The right side of his cheek is heavily bruised, and his right eye is also closed up, and there's some blood around it.
Come again?
His right cheek and eye are bruised up, and there is some blood kind of coming out of his right eye, which is swollen shut.
Can I try and open it?
Sure. You just stick your fingers there and feel his eye open.
Yeah.
There's no eye there. It's obliterated. And then Claude provides emergency magical CPR.
What kind of wound was it? Like was it gouged out or?
Looks like blunt force.
I see.
And then the CPR happens. Claude, go ahead and make me a luck check, I guess.
You ready for this nat 100? God, I really am fucking cursed on this character.
I think you just need to get good. This looks like a...
You know what? Hyde, from now on, I'm going to do all my rolls in Excel and screen share.
It looks like you have inherited Kaiman's luck. Kaiman's luck seed is now owned
You know, my luck hasn't been particularly great either. I just haven't been like shitting my pants about it.
True, but
Shut the fuck up, Chud.
That's it. I'm manifesting horrid rolls for you.
his have been severely worse. 3 nat ones in a row in session 1.
Yeah, it's over for you, Chud. Not me.
Your
like
Chud.
You.
You gust
Don't worry, I keep confusing which of us is which.
you gust into his mouth, and that gurgle picks up again as the air escapes his body. And then you hear a sort of screeching, scratching, squelching noise as what looks like a mantis-esque creature crawls out of his mouth.
Stab it.
Go roll to hit. Oh, and also, you know what? Roll me everyone who witnesses this, give me a D12 roll.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Damn,
Yeah.
we got the exact same rolls back to
Seriously,
back.
you're fucking right.
Welcome.
Why? You know, why did I even try to attack?
Claude, Chud, Ava, all of you recoil in fear as this thing bursts out of his mouth. Moya, you're a little bit surprised, but you're not shaken. Well, maybe a little shaken, but not as bad as the other 3 kids here.
I thunderclap.
You thunderclap?
Yes, I thunderclap.
What is your spell
Oink.
save DC?
What would my spell save DC be?
It should be on your sheet.
Oh, 8.
It's only 8? It's not right.
Don't know.
Maybe
What's your intelligence?
14.
so it should
Okay,
be
it's
10.
10. Okay,
10. Yeah.
let's okay. So he's casting Thunderclap?
He casts thunderclap. Everything within 5
Okay.
feet of him makes a Constitution save.
Yeah. That's yeah.
But go ahead and roll damage, Moya. As
How close is everyone to him, by the way? I assume because they're all within 5 feet.
I was trying to help him, so yeah, I'm pretty close.
It would be a 1d6.
Yeah, roll.
Yeah, and everyone gets to roll a lovely con save.
Oh!
Please tell me Chud has more than 4 HP.
I
So,
do.
because I made you guys roll that d12, the fear roll, I'm letting you guys all jump back 5 feet. Don't worry, I already decided it before it happened. So none of you actually get hit by this. The bug, however, does get hit. And the exposed part of its body explodes in a burst of chitin and goo.
Make it land all over Chud and we'll call it even.
It's all over all
What
of
the
you,
fuck?
but mostly Moya.
Gusted off.
He
Clean.
then starts to twitch some more. And the bottom half of this bug's body starts to be ejected from his mouth, and more of them come out.
You know, at this point, I'm thinking we should just set the corpse on fire.
Chud,
Yeah,
drop a bonfire on him.
that is actually what I was thinking. For once, for I think possibly the only time in history I've had the same thought as you.
Drop it quick.
2, 3, 6.
I will create a bonfire on his corpse.
Okay. All of these.
Wait, lead it first.
Hmm?
Lead it first.
There's a lot of creatures on it.
No, Moya, go ahead, kill yourself.
And they killed him and ate him from inside out. So, I think we should burn it.
Yeah, by the time the 6th one of these large centipede-ish creatures emerge from his mouth, I want to say they're about the size of
I thought you said mantis.
mantis. I meant to say
Yes.
I
centipede.
thought it was mantis.
I meant
Oh.
to say centipede because I had another creature in mind. That you kids don't know about. But some of you players might. They're about the size of one of those glass Coke bottles. And now there's a bonfire on top of his body. You can hear the screeching and hisses and pops as these things start to burn alive.
Start walking east.
Which size of glass Coke bottle?
There's more than one size.
Yeah.
The bigger, longer one is the one I have beside me. Is
Mexican Coke.
yeah. The one I
Which
have beside me is
size?
a 355 milliliter. So if there's a bigger one than that,
Yeah, I think there's 591s.
then it's a
Right.
591.
Mexico has 2 liters bottles of glass.
They have 2-liter glass
Coke.
Coke bottles?
Yes. Yes.
Hold up. 2-liter glass Coke. My people. Okay, they're the size of a 2-liter glass Coke bottle.
Walk east now. Actually, you know what? We're gonna walk southwest. It's kind of obvious where we are now. Wait, yeah, you know what? Let's walk east.
Were you deterred by my roll?
No,
We're-
Emperor's Guard.
We're planning on going east anyways.
Yeah, we're in the fucking Varwood.
That's what I said, but I wasn't like 100% sure there.
Yeah, now we're 100% sure we're going east ASAP.
Okay. Claude with his meta information. You walk east as you leave the bonfire behind you, now roasting a dwarf and its parasites alive. Everyone go
Well,
ahead
I
and
know
make...
we're in the Varwood. It's more we just saw fucking massive fucking centipedes coming from guys' mouth. They're getting the fuck out of here.
Everyone go ahead and make me a perception or wisdom check for this hour of walking.
Oh yeah, we've seen this in the Marwood before.
That's what I was saying. The once I saw the dwarf. Perception check?
Wisdom or perception, your choice. And the navigator, please make me an additional intelligence or wisdom.
Hell yeah, these rolls were popping off.
I'll make the intelligence. You're all fucked.
All right. No wisdom or perception for you, Moya? Mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Wait, you said navigator those 2 rolls, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This time, the navigator, who has been Ava, is you feel like you're heading east. Assuredly, you haven't made the human fault of being unable to walk a straight line without landmarks or navigation tools, which is a very strange fault in the human brain. Regardless, towards the latter half of your march, you see another body in the distance. Looks like it might be another dwarf.
Judd bonfire.
Yeah, I have to save some of these casts for when we eventually camp. Let's go check and see if it's the same bugs and just run away. If that's the case, maybe see if we can find like a insignia before we get swarmed.
You guys approach. Once again, this dwarf, you spot him 100 feet off. You approach the dwarf. He
Is it the
is.
same dwarf?
It is not the same dwarf, because that previous dwarf is a crisp. This dwarf, wearing the same kind of armor, maybe not exactly the same, is resting against a tree, leaning against it with his back. Beside him is a large maul, much too big for any of you to wield properly. And to his left is a satchel bag.
Are they breathing?
How close do you get?
10 feet.
He is snoozing as he lets out a slight snore.
Does he look normal compared to the last one?
He looks dirty. He looks a little pallid, but you can't tell if that's the same kind of affliction that his kin back there has had.
Knock on his helmet and then like jump back 5 feet.
You knock on the door and jump back 5 feet. The snoring stops and he looks around and he grabs at his maul and he looks at you, eyes wide open. What in bloody blazes?
Bugs.
Bugs.
Do you have a centipede down your throat?
Centipede. I ain't no centipedes down here. Wherever
The other
we were.
dwarf had centipedes in him.
Oh
Big
no.
centipedes.
Those child were not centipedes. They're worse. Those beasties come from that blasted mountain of Terra's gift. Those are mantipedes. You don't have any mantipedes in you. As he reaches for his maul, he has a crazed look in his eye.
No. Where are we?
We're in a swamp. You daft son.
Which swamp?
Hell if I know.
What region?
Okay, but
I
before
couldn't
we
tell
were
you. As he starts to have a little cackle of madness. He reaches
Wait,
for his
Oh
satchel.
no!
how'd you get in the swamp?
I was sent here by the devil. As he reaches to his satchel, he pulls out a rather large flask. He unscrews it.
The,
Were you like magically transported or did you come here
I don't say
by
that word. Magic. Peh. The devil. That's what it was. The devil itself. And he takes a swig from his flask.
so the
did the
devil
devil have tentacles?
Aye. And his tentacles are everywhere. They're here. They're there. And he looks at the lot of you. I feel like you're a part of him.
I can assure you were not. Before you ended up in this swamp by the devil, where were you?
I was not here. I can tell you that much. He takes another swig.
Because we were near Sheffield,
Sheffield.
and
Ain't that one of them soft old human towns?
Well, we are human.
Aye. Bunch of
There are-
small, soft lot of you.
there are no elves with us.
Uh, we have. I interject and go. We have to go by by dwarven sensibility. We have no knife ears among us.
True?
He, as you say that, Claude, he gives you the stink eye, and he looks you up and down. Aye. No children of the devil ye be. And where did you come from? Strange little fleeting imagination, demons of my mind.
The devil sent us here as well.
We were on a field trip.
Oh, the devil sent you. Did he now? He struggles to his feet.
He attacked our camp when we were with our class, and next thing we know, we're here.
Oh.
We're hoping he killed the knife here.
The devil sent you here as well in your class. A bunch of school children, are you?
We were attacked.
That's correct.
A lot of the other kids were pretty much dead.
Sad lot if you weren't human. Just a couple of bugs dying, I assume. But there are no knife ears about you. Can't be all bad. He takes a swig of his flask. Here. Help yourselves to a small sip. You'll need it. Place will make you go mad without that little bit of help.
How long have you been here?
Oh, I don't know. A week, maybe? 2 weeks. What cycle is the
Grab the
moon's?
flask. We can't see the moon.
Oh. It's been too long. When I came here, the moon was full.
The night that we were sent here, did we get a chance to like see what the moon was, or what was the moon the day before?
The moon the day before you were sent here, they were both waxing crescents.
Damn. I also the flask. I look it over. I check to see if there's like markings on it.
Do you have... There are markings. Do you have heraldry or history? Well, heraldry will be the important one. Do you have heraldry?
Nope.
Do you have world or local history?
Nope. She just
Regular
has
history?
that, regular history.
Go ahead and roll. Oh, you're not well versed in dwarven markings. It is definitely dwarven.
I asked the dwarf, has he had something to eat?
Eat. Yes. Place is full of food if you're willing to kill it.
Is it bugs?
I dig through my sleeves and grab some of the food that I got from the table still.
Oh, no. No. You are the devil, aren't you? Walking in
I
here,
eat it.
tempting me with real food.
No, it's real.
No, we're
I
just
eat it.
lost.
Lost. Yes, we're all lost. All is lost.
Lost physically, not hope.
Is that a sausage?
Do I have any psychedelics?
Do you have
Yeah,
any
the mushrooms I have.
psychedelics? We went over this, didn't we? I think... No, you have a poison mushroom and some edibles.
Yeah, are any of those edibles?
Highly doubt it.
Damn. Is there
Yeah, I
any
think it's
mushrooms
sausage.
nearby?
I just hand him sausage.
He snatches that out of your hand and he practically inhales the thing. Oh,
I will be taking a sip of whatever he's.
how many of you guys take a sip of this?
I haven't taken this yet.
The dude's
Lava.
fucking crazy. No.
I will take a sip as well.
It burns like fire. If you're
hell
even
yeah.
able to swallow it. Actually, go ahead and make me a constitution check to see if you can get it down. And then make me another one if you do.
Dude, what are these rolls? My past like 8
It should
rolls.
be-
Is it skill check or say? Oh yeah, no,
Score.
I fucked up. Okay, yeah, I fucked up.
Ava, you get the liquor down. Go ahead and make me another one after that. Chud, you almost get it down, but God, that stuff is... You spit and sputter and cough.
I'm gonna
Ava,
kill myself.
you instantly feel a little warm. Whatever this is, it is incredibly strong for your small, childlike liver.
It's that Freelander liver.
The R Hardy sort. Where was he? I lost. Where'd you, where, where did you come from? You said Sheffield. Humans, a bunch of children off in the distance. Doing what? I don't care. But you know
Field
you're
trip.
here. And where should you return to? Where should I return to? Are we even still in a place to return from? He gets
We're
up,
heading east.
he grabs his maul, and he hobbles a little bit, kind of using it as like a walking cane. East. Many of my men went east. I've seen none of them. Could be good, or could be
Just
bad.
Just for clarity, Mr. Dwarf, what year is it?
Oh, I believe this is the 18th year of post of our folly. No. Yes. I believe that be correct.
Okay, good. That is right.
We came from the east, right?
No, we came
We
from
don't
the
really
west.
know.
We are going east.
Yes, we came from the west.
But how do you know it's actually west?
Well, since technically we're traveling east, any point behind us is west. You know?
That's not how it works.
Right. I will
Look,
give an edible
Terra
mushroom to
Terra
the
isn't
Mr. Dwarf.
flat.
We were going to the left the whole
And I will
time.
and I will continue going east.
Yeah, east.
East. Yes. Go east. You might find something there. Or you won't. We'll never meet again.
I'm gonna leave too. I'm good.
Can you not be crazy for 5 seconds?
I really don't care.
As you guys, what did you say you were doing first, Ava? I didn't hear you over there talking. You said you were doing
I
something
will
and then
give
heading east?
him one of the edible mushrooms I have.
Okay. He takes it. He eats it. He laughs some more. And as you guys start walking east, he starts grumbling some stuff, and you hear a loud thunk. If you look back, he's attacking a tree with his maul, and he continues to cackle madly. Everyone make me wisdom or perception checks as you walk for another hour.
All right, we're moving up.
To the other side.
You feel like you're getting a little bit lost, Ava. But I mean, at least you're not where that dwarf is, right? Yeah. Eventually, you come to what looks like an outcropping of rocks, a small cliffside. Maybe about 20 feet high. There is a small cave entrance to this cliffside.
Do we all agree that going in the cave is going to kill us?
You know, at this point, I really don't care. Let's go. Nothing ever happens, right, Chud?
Moya,
Chud, is something gonna happen?
Not for a little while.
as you pass by and or approach the cave, you'll notice that there are a lot of fish bones resting outside of it. At least they look like fish bones. They're quite long. Not fish that you're used to seeing back home.
Okay.
But do you guys approach the cave?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
What time is it?
It is still quite overcast, I believe, but it looks like the clouds are quite bright. You figure it's almost noon. Actually, it is noon. I'm pressing this button.
You know, we don't need to go near this cave right now.
How close do you get to the cave, Moya?
Once everyone starts saying, let's not go to the cave, I don't go to the cave.
Right? Cowardice or intelligence has brought you guys away from the cave. Right, you know the rules. Make me your checks. Wisdom or perception. Navigator rolls
so
another
do I.
survival or intelligence.
All right, we're kind of falling back now. I was into that one. Fuck.
He just knows it does. He doesn't need to look because nothing is happening.
You know, we could have killed him at some point in our lives, but we didn't.
Who?
Yes.
Moya and Navigator. Or Navigator check at least. Out of Ava.
Oh, do I roll?
Wisdom or perception for you, and then Ava's survival or intelligence. Wisdom, survival, or intelligence.
Wisdom for me? Okay.
Or perception. Mm-hmm. 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 You guys are walking. The terrain gets a little hilly. The trees seem to start going up an incline. There's a little drier area up it. You have an easier time traveling amongst that little dry patch of land as it peels itself away from the water. It's nice. You don't have to trudge around in mud like you were for the last, 24 hours? And then, Ava, you immediately tell everyone to stop. As in the corner of your eye, you see what looks like a large, out of place patch of grass. All sort of clumped together through some purpose.
Remember the last time we saw some patches of grass? We got a free meal. I start walking towards it.
Okay? You walk towards this patch of grass. It sticks out. It's very obviously different from the rest of this area. There are fewer trees. Some of the trees here are a little bit smaller. How close do you get to this patch of grass, Moya?
I inch closer to it and I look back behind me to see if anyone else is following.
Is anybody following Moya?
No.
I will follow.
Ava follows. Hmm. Yeah. You follow. You get close. What are you doing about this patch of grass, and how close do you get to it?
I touch grass.
Okay. Roll me a d8.
Is
And
that for me or is that for Ava?
Ava rolls a d8 for your guys' position, and I want you to roll a d8 for something else's position.
All of us rolling the d8.
Those two. Ava,
Okay.
you approach this patch of grass from its like northwestern side. And as you touch it, the grass lifts and something comes flying out of it in the wrong direction, away from you, towards the southern direction. There is a spider about the size of a pit bull, let's say. And it looks around and it sees you, the two of you. Make me a d12. And how close are you to this, Claude?
Like 30 feet.
Right, so you don't have to make a d12. Both of you are startled, not surprised or scared, but there is a large spider about 15 feet away from you. Make me an initiative check. All right. Moya, you are first to act.
I run back. I walk back to Claude and Chud.
Okay? Claude, you see this spider emerge from its trap door, and it's turning around to notice your two friends. What do you do?
How far is that?
45 feet away from you.
T. Uh, we'll move 15 feet towards it and then firebolt fragment.
All right? Are you
Wow.
casting it, or are you just charging it?
You know what? We'll charge it for now.
All right. Chud, make a initiative check. As you see a pit bull-sized trapdoor spider emerge from a trapdoor that Ava just touched. And you are 45 feet away from the creature. Chud, it's your turn to act. What are you doing as you see this happen? Moya has retreated towards both you and Claude. Ava is yet to move, as Claude
Oh,
is charging a
fucking-
firebolt.
I'm also going to hit it with Firebolt.
All right, roll to hit. That'll hit.
Bog?
You only have a +1.
It's plus int modifier, right?
Plus int, plus level, plus caster. Yeah, so if you just have +1, yeah.
Yeah, cast level 0, and then
Yeah, you're good. Roll your damage. And knock off a cantrip pool.
fuck.
Your firebolt hits the spider, square in its face. It recoils slightly, and then actually will. It does seem unperturbed. And now it's the spider's turn.
Nothing ever happens.
Ava, since you're the closest, the spider will sprint towards you. Please make me a grapple check. So athletics or acrobatics.
Athletics.
The spider grapples Ava. It has its mandibles around her legs and is now pulling her back towards the trapdoor. Moya.
Yeah.
Ava is being dragged towards the trapdoor by the spider.
Got it. Has the spider been damaged?
It took a firebolt to the face.
Got it. I'm gonna use Toll the Dead.
All right. Spider must make a wisdom saving throw. It rolls a natural 1. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Got it. Since it already has damage, it's gonna be a 1d12. Right?
Correct. All right. You hear the bell ring, and this time, I believe this is the first time, or maybe the second time, this cantrip actually goes off as a sort of black shockwave erupts from above you, and then immediately a secondary one erupts above the spider. The spider releases its grip on Ava as it does that little flip onto its back thing that bugs do when they die instantly for some weird reason. It twitches a bit, and then it stops moving.
Not too fond of bugs.
I really should have made sanity check rules for this.
I'm surprised we're not rolling for sanity like as often as we're rolling for perception. I'm also not entirely convinced we're not dead.
You know what? Are we in? Are
First,
we
you
in?
have a pitbull mauling children in your fucking
We're in the
country.
Shivering Isles, aren't we?
Just be glad I didn't make
We've
you
gone
babies.
mad.
This would have been a lost fight.
Just be glad he didn't make it a rabbit. We're not native to this one.
No, he did say it was a pit bull sized spider, so it has pit bull. So we were babies, we would have been dead.
Oh yes, the pit bull spider, known in this region quite well, feared by all non-white women.
Are there pitbull-sized rabbits in Poppy Quest?
I think they would just have a country of their own if there was. Oh, you have a dead spider, you have its trapdoor, and you have your lives. Also, don't forget to tick off any of your cantrips. See a lot of full blue bars.
Can we cook it?
Haven't used any.
It is a spider, and you have bonfire.
We can check to see its fangs first. It can be useful.
No, trapdoor
read in a
spiders
book.
are not poisonous.
They got mandibles. They chew.
Big spider.
Check its
Actually, its legs can be how long are its legs?
Well,
Size of a pitbull.
pitbull sized spider's legs would be 3 feet total, I guess. A meter.
How
For
do
check
you
its
guys.
its trap for stuff that it can digest.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's check its trap hole because considering there's other people in this swamp, there might be something.
It's
we can
it's
drag
full
them
of dwarfs. And
Yeah, I was about to say
dwarf
it's gonna be
to. Let's go
a dwarf.
check.
You check the trap door. It's light. It is really just woven out of grass and various branches and stuff. There is a skeleton of a creature much too small to be a dwarf. You'd figure it's possibly a gnome.
I look back. It's no dwarf. There's no dwarves, but it's called gnome storage.
I hate you.
I check around to see if there's any items from this gnome body.
There is a small satchel bag, a staff, and its clothes, which are kind of torn apart and eaten, torn apart as the carcass has been chewed upon.
I grab everything.
Right?
I check the staff.
The staff it is like a gnarled piece of wood, but at the tip where like the wood curves into itself, there's a small blue crystal.
I would like to do a history check. We did have classes on staves.
I believe that is true. Go ahead and roll a history check. Throw a +2 onto it.
I'll see if I can break apart the spider's legs to try and cook it.
Yeah, it should be easy enough if you bash it, and smash it. Use your foot to break it apart as you stand on top of it. All that kind of stuff. Get yourself a nice set of giant
Bop it.
crab legs.
Break it.
This staff is atypical to gnomes. You'd see a staff like this more common amongst any halflings, forest halflings particularly, that like to dabble in the arcane. You don't know what it is exactly, but you do know that that blue crystal there is the focus of the staff. Whatever magical stuff comes out of it emits from there.
Okay. Is it bright? Is it dimming?
The crystal itself doesn't have any glow to it. It is clear. It is clear blue and it is sapphire. It is a deep
Okay.
blue sapphire.
I try and focus. I try and use the staff away from my other classmates.
Okay. Roll me a flat d20. Claude and Ava, what are you guys doing?
Staying the fuck away from the walking calamity.
Ava?
I'm checking if I have any wounds or anything like that.
No, I mean, you have a little bruising on the leg where it grabs you, but that's it. Your pants have not been shit yet, so you feel like you're okay.
All right.
Claude, you witness Moya focus his staff in a direction away from you guys. Moya then disappears.
What the fuck?
Moya, roll me your D100. About 50 feet ahead of you, and in a crackle of thunder, you fall out of the sky and into a tree.
What? And today's topic for the podcast is splitting parties.
You all hear this clap of thunder.
Okay.
And why don't you go ahead and roll me a 2d6, Moya? Okay. The tree that you land in, the leaves sort of blow off of it as you land in the branches, and you are kind of suspended on a branch right now. Perched
Can I
precariously
see my
upon it.
classmates?
If you look around, you can see them about 50-ish feet down the way.
I yell at them. Holy shit, that was cool. But I'm stuck. And I'm scared.
How the fuck?
Step bro, I'm stuck.
Actually, I try and get on the branch then.
Yep. You sit yourself on the branch easily enough.
$50 off the ground, huh?
Now, 50 feet forward, you're like 20 feet off the ground. You kind
Oh,
of fell
okay.
through the trees and onto one of the lower branches.
Got it. Yeah, that's still a pretty far fall, so
Just take the damage.
Can we try and catch Moya?
You could assist in whichever way you please.
He said the name.
Moya?
No, he said the thing.
Okay, what about using Gust before Moya is about to hit the ground and just pushing her up?
No, this doesn't work like Minecraft where I can just drop a water bucket and take just
I mean, it is basically a water bucket.
He lives in Minecraft. What was that fucking shitpost for a while? Minecraft Parkour City or something.
I'm I'm gonna go for the beef.
Yeah, that one.
I can always be a Minecraft noob. Actually, I checked the satchel before I even. I'm gonna put that whole staff thing behind me for now and just check the satchel that I just got.
Okay. There are 2 scrolls, a bottle with purple liquid, a bottle with black liquid, and a bottle with pinkish liquid. And then there is a book, more of a journal.
I grab the journal and I open it.
Okay.
I wait for my classmates to come by and whatever. I'm gonna try and put the being 20 feet in the air out of my headspace as long as I can.
All right. Um, the journal is, luckily enough, written in common, so you can read what is here. It essentially states that this gnome here was tasked to go on an expedition with a uh, what would I call him? A mountain dwarf noble who is known far and wide as Emerald Halistar. He's leading an expedition to the north to investigate some strange arcane readings that this gnome's allies have discovered maybe about 2 or 3 months ago.
I keep reading. I'm gonna try and see where we are, like if it actually mentions the area.
Um, it states that they went north past Rosewatch to Caliburn's Folly. And then from there, they went further north, somewhere between Caliburn's Folly and what's it called? The Southerner's Rest, somewhere around this region. They were planning on going to the lake that I forgot the name of in this area over here, but they found some strange arcane readings, and the gnome insisted on investigating, though the human priestess that they had on loan advised against it. So did the dwarves. The gnome insisted. They checked stuff out, and during his readings, they were attacked by a band of minotaur. The gnome had the idea to teleport the party away to safety, about 200-ish feet just to give them a head start. And they wound up in this Nagata Forsaken Swamp. Or Nada Forsaken Swamp.
I keep on reading. Does it say that he knows where this actually is? Where the fuck this swamp is?
You keep reading, and is anybody trying to help Moya out of the tree?
I am trying to help my way out of the tree after I get the spider legs squared away.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was going to use Gust to just kind of like slow the fall by pushing Moya up.
Okay.
I am vastly invested in this book right now.
Are we
Moya,
still in the swamp?
you're still in the swamp. You're on that little hill,
We're
the little dry hill.
we're never leaving the swamp, Armin. This is our life forever.
All right. So, does the hill oversee the trees?
No. The trees, well, there are fewer trees on the hill, but the trees are taller than the hill itself. If that makes any sense. It's not that big of a hill. It's just big enough to get out of the water.
I see.
Moya, you don't notice the fact that Claude's standing there, waiting to gust you upwards in case you jump down or fall. By the time Chud finishes breaking spider legs, you'll have read that the gnome has no idea where this place is. The dwarves that were with him had split up into multiple directions. Emerald Hallistar went north. What's his name? Yagan Stoutfire went south. The red bearded dwarf went to the west. And then dwarf whose name I also forget. No, what was his name? Shit. I know his name. Erdogan Ironhammer went northwest. The priestess stayed with the gnome for a few days after everyone split up, and he has seen no sign of his compatriots since then. And then there is one last page, and it's underlined in blood. Do not use the teleportation spells.
I look up. I try not to look down, and I tell all my classmates we're completely fucked.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ooh, actually,
I try.
before you do that, he mentions note that he used his staff and he saw a glimpse of the local area. There is what looks like the ruins of a city to the northeast, but there's also a desert to the north. And there also seems to be a large mountain that is capped in snow further beyond the city. And then there's lots of trees further to the east. And then he wrote something about having a very hard fall.
Got it.
And then it kind of continues in wingdings for a bit. And then it goes back to English. And then you read the part about not using teleportation.
Okay, so I put everything back in the satchel. I take a deep breath. I don't look down. I go, "Are you guys ready to catch me?"
Yeah.
I scream out, "Here we go, broken legs." I go down.
And Gust Moya up just before, obviously goes splat.
Roll me a D100, Claude.
I mean, it does say just.
Yeah, but you gotta time it. Roll me a D100. Towards the end of the fall, you hit Moya with a gust. Moya, you're pushed up about 5 feet. and then you land safely.
And you're pushed back up into the tree.
We already know we're fucked. So, do you have any idea where we are after reading?
So, yep. Well, we're in a fucking swamp. So any teleportation seems to be going here. There is the dwarf. If that dwarf had the hammer, right?
Yes.
Okay. I read the book again. I look through the pages. I'm like, I try and find the mention of the hammer dwarf.
Gives me that. I take the book and I start reading.
The dwarf with the hammer, Jargren.
Yeah, where'd he come from?
No. That was the Firebeard guy.
There was no dwarf going east.
The first dwarf we found was technically east. Or
Well,
no, never
wait,
mind.
There was
there is-
My
no
bad.
dwarf
so
going east.
here's the
My bad.
thing. We don't know which east. To us, we were going east, but to them, they were probably going northwest.
That's true.
I think
No,
we should
but
go
he
east.
said no. The dwarf said some of his soldiers went east, but none of his soldiers went east, according to the book that I am reading right now. After I took it from your hands.
Give me an intelligence check, the both of you readers. You guys did take literacy, right? Don't worry, you have it free.
Imagine being an illiterate wizard.
Don't worry. The real proficiency you guys had to take was swimming. Neither of you
Fuck.
have read any indication as to when these entries were written.
Well, the dwarf did say that they came on they were here on a full moon.
Oh, and the gnome and the priestess wandered about the swamp for a few days. So
So that dwarf has been here for about 22 days, about 3 weeks.
just about.
Should we go and fetch the dwarf and talk to him about what we found? And
You know,
No,
I don't think he has any idea where the fuck he is.
yeah, but it might help him think we're not the devil and help us try to get out of here.
why
No.
do we care?
If anything, I think he was sent here by the same creature.
Okay, but look at it this way. He has armor and a mace.
He was not. We were not sent here by a creature. We were sent here by the professor. He cast teleport, and apparently teleport is something is wrong with not the Leylands or something.
Ley lines.
Something's wrong with the anima, and
All of
it's
you students roll me
making
an intelligence check or an arcana check if you have it.
This is Malagos's fault.
This is Arcana.
And
Moyonaisu,
Yeah.
intelligence or arcana? Ava, which one was yours? Is that intelligence?
int. Yeah,
Gonna be going with another int.
Alright. Well, you can't make heads or tails of what the heck Ava's talking about. Ava, Chud, you guys do have an inkling as to what the arcane ley lines are or whatever they may be, but you don't know too many specifics. You do know that they can affect magic. You do know that oftentimes people refer to this as just the mana concentration or mist capital MYST.
Good
Claude,
game.
you remember the lecture on the ley lines and loose mana and mist, and you remember
Oh boy,
specifically
do I.
that when something interferes with the flow of mana, your spells might not act the proper way, and it's usually conjuration spells, abjuration spells, and evocation spells that are affected the most. Your teacher, Meladin, has once noted that it's a very bad idea to use any of those spells in mist or near mist. Even being close to it, even in low concentrations, casting those spells can cause serious problems for you, the caster. He has once mentioned a time where a fellow student of his teleported himself into the ground, and the lower half of his body was instantly melded with the earth. And that was from a simple misty step.
Would we have been would we know anything about any swamps that have a decent mist concentration?
The dark marsh is known to have patches of high mist concentrations. The dark marsh. While the dead marsh is absent of mist due to the presence of both Fey and undead.
And there's no like smaller ones. So basically our lecture doesn't help us there. We just know the swamp has a high mist concentration.
You would further know that, like mana itself, when a creature dies, its life force is released. And when life force lingers long enough and is joined by more concentrations of life force, mana is created. And then when more mana is generated at an explosive rate, usually because of mass death events, it eventually coalesces into mist.
Are you telling me we're in the fucking murder swamp?
I'm just telling you about mist.
This is the murder swamp.
I think we're all dead and this is hell.
This is the murder swamp. We're gonna die.
Yeah, I
We're
got.
not gonna die.
I was reading that book. I'm like, oh shit,
What direction?
We're in Calcanet's swamp.
What direction did the priestess go?
Doesn't
It
say.
didn't mention. It mentioned that the priestess and the gnome got separated, and after 3 or 4 days of them wandering around together.
Did it mention what direction they were wandering in?
There is no note of that. They tried to stay to the non-muddy grounds. I guess I can also give you this. Eventually, during the wandering, the priestess said it would be a better idea to stay away from the dry areas, just because there's something out there that is definitely stalking them. And there's less places to hide in these dry areas.
I say
Well,
let's go to that city.
based on the book, I think we should go south.
I mean,
You
the
know,
book does say there is a desert to the north and there is a city to the northeast. Or ruins of a city, right?
Ruins of a city to the northeast.
wait, so would we be here? Like, where's my ping? Here? The fuck,
No.
where is it?
No, we can't be in the dead marsh because there's no mist there. And there's a creature from the north.
And there's
Presume
a glacier.
beyond the city ruins.
Beyond the city ruins.
Okay, here's here's a good reason to not go north. If we go north, we're closer to the Bloodwood. Do you really want to deal with Bloodwood Drow? They'll suck your blood and mutilate
mean,
your corpse.
We don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we should be navigating based off of areas that we think we might be in. Until we have something concrete that says you are here, I think we should keep heading the same way we're going.
Chud, if we die, I'm gonna haunt your corpse when you die.
That won't happen. None of that will happen. All right.
It's gonna happen.
Nope. I can see it right now here. Something might happen.
Is it gonna be something good or something bad? Try again, Chud.
I will
Let's
ask.
see.
Use your limited divination.
I will ask Moya how
It'll
she
definitely be
got
something good.
into that tree.
Okay, but what direction is something good gonna happen?
It's gonna happen to me. Something good's gonna happen to me, not to you, though.
Okay, but what direction do we have to go for that to happen?
I don't know about that. I'm not the navigator.
Okay, but
Go ahead.
but if something good is gonna happen to you, that means it's your decision.
You don't know that.
Okay, but if you know something good is gonna happen, you can pick a direction and something good is gonna happen.
Not exactly.
As the two have their little schizo rambles, Ava, Moya, Ava asks you how you got into that tree in the first place.
I use the staff.
All right, I take the staff.
All right, you have a staff in your hands.
And I will focus it into the sky, like directly above me.
Okay. Roll me a D100 and a flat D20 as well. Okay. You focus it directly above you. Moya, you witness Ava disappear for a split second, and then she comes crashing back down to the ground. And then roll me a 2d6, Ava.
Wow, only 20 feet in the air?
Ava, you hit the ground pretty hard as a clap of thunder also follows up your landing. You take 6 points of falling damage.
I'm dead.
Yeah,
6 points of damage?
6 points of falling damage. Ava is unconscious on the floor as her clap of thunder completely draws you out of your schizo ramble.
Okay, but how high up did Ava go?
You weren't watching. Moya, were you watching? Were you looking up as she casted?
Yeah.
About
Like just looked up.
15-ish feet. But Ava, you are at 0 HP. You are unconscious but stable.
Well,
You know, you'd think when the book says not to, do things, you'd think not doing things would be what you do.
there goes our navigator.
What do you guys do?
We try and nurse Alva back to health.
Chud,
I
Take the
guess
staff away.
you know what, Chud? This must be what it is. Something good is going to happen because you have no choice but to be the navigator.
Avanine's dead, so maybe that you think that could happen.
All right, I will be right back.
There's a hill nearby that's out of water, right?
Yes?
we should head there and see if we can get Avenine to not be dead, or Ava. Fuck you, Armor. I hate you so much. Oh my god.
I don't know why you keep saying our name.
Obsessed, obsessed, obsessed.
It's a Freudian slip.
I think you want to do more than Freudian slip.
Anybody have that Morrowind video of the guy falling from the sky?
That's what I was thinking of this whole time. I don't have the video. I mean, I could probably find it on YouTube.
The funny edit one?
I'm not sure about a funny edit one, but
It has like a song added to it and it just follows him all the way to the ground. And then it cuts to the actual scene. I wish
Oh,
I
I
had
was-
the
I was-
I wish I had the song just so I could have played it when Ava casted the spell. Straight up. Well,
Damn, we got the Icarus staff.
what are you guys doing? I already rolled a d4 for when Ava's waking up.
we
We're
went to the hill
going
nearby.
You guys just chill on the hill.
We're gonna
Yep,
try and wait.
Okay.
Maybe see if we can cook the spider legs.
Yeah. I imagine you just cast bonfire.
Yeah. Do we gain canters back for short rests, or
For short rest, so you gotta sleep 8
Okay.
hours. You get to cooking the spider legs. Only a survival check
oh no?
or wisdom, one or both.
I can't tell which one I'd roll worse on, actually.
This dude doesn't know how to cook a spider.
No, I never level cooking. I assume somebody's gonna bring feasts, you know? Oh lord. Wisdom or survival? Okay. Wisdom.
It's not something you've ever done before, but you take a guess, and you've heard once or twice that spider is similar to crab. Probably something that you've had once or twice in Sheffield. You can cook them thoroughly and safely, and not burn them.
You cook the mud crab in Sheffield.
In 4 hours, the max roll, Ava will awaken to having 1 HP.
God.
Ava, you're a dumbass. I take the staff and I ask, what did you see?
What did I say?
Nothing. You barely got above the trees.
Yeah, what did I say?
Trees.
Trees.
No landmarks, nothing.
Right. Will I have
Be right back.
materials to make any kind of like healing potion or something like that?
Hmm. Give me a intelligence or history check.
Would you consider grilled spider leg a healing item? Also, I'm going to make sure that the bonfire doesn't die after I've like spent my second to last cantrip.
Yeah, you could build a real fire off the bonfire. Um, yeah, that combined with the fact that you have an herbalism and poisoner's kit, you're an avid student of the potion classes. The first class that you take after learning the basics of, how they work and all that stuff is how to make a healing potion. Um, you know that there are multiple ways to make a healing potion, and though you only know how to make the most basic of them, uh, any combination of lavender, honey, chamomile, the blood of a medium to large creature, non insect, and some sort of solvent, like alcohol, can be enough to make a very basic healing potion.
Yeah, he really wants to give off of his blood.
Right. So do I need all of those or just part of those?
You need, at the very least, the solvent, and then 2 other ingredients from that list. So honey,
What
lavender.
is the solvent?
Usually it's alcohol,
Okay.
preferably a
I will
stronger
use
kind.
muddy water.
Well, more
Uh,
universal solvent, but water is also required, and dirty water can work.
For ingredients, I will use chamomile, which I do have,
Mm-hmm.
and I will ask Moya to come here for a bit.
you can't fucking use Haku every time. It's always Rowan.
You know what? You are right. Chat, can you come here for a bit?
It's
For
Chud's
what?
dream come true.
Shut the fuck up.
Alpha, you'll know that you'll need about 2 HP's worth of blood.
I will go help Ava.
Okay.
Wait, what were the ingredients?
Honey, lavender, chamomile, 2 HP's worth of blood, a universal solvent, which is the most important part, the part that you do need the most to actually make it work.
Which is the one I don't have, right?
Yes. Unless, who was the last person who
Unless
pulled that dwarf's flask?
me.
Roll a D100. You have under 50, you never gave it back to him. Because he was,
Fuck.
nope. That is not under 50 at all. That is a 77. You gave it back to Flask.
All right. The liquids that Moya found. Can I inspect them?
Yes.
Can I see what they are?
You see a bottle of pinkish liquid, a bottle of purple liquid, a bottle of black liquid.
Can I find out what they are?
Do you wish to taste them?
I will taste the pink one first. A little bit.
Okay. It is sweet and herby. This is a healing potion.
Okay.
Boggers?
I will drink it.
All right. 2d4 plus 2. You heal
Alright, I'm max HP.
8 HP. Okay.
Alright, I will taste the purple one.
Roll me a d100. Or I guess I'll give you the flavor first. It's a very sour but meaty tasting potion. And for a split second, you have a combination of fear and the absolute inability to put any thought into words or to think any thoughts at all.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, can you taste this? And I give her the black potion.
Do you wish to taste the potion?
Uh,
Potion Sherlock.
you know, Teacher Meladin has told us not to drink random ass potions.
I just drank one.
Yes, you did just witness Ava not only drink a pink potion, but also taste the purple one.
Yeah, and then you're also the one that just teleport. You know what? I shouldn't really
You
say
you
anything.
also teleported.
I also teleported. I I try and use my book smarts to check on what if I can actually identify this thing.
Uh, make me an Arcana or History check. You have no idea. It is just a bottle of black liquid. When you do swirl it around, you can tell that it doesn't seem entirely liquid.
Oh, so it's viscous.
More like airy. It's a little smoky.
What does it smell like?
I
Soot.
opened up.
You open the bottle. It smells like soot.
Is it ink?
I give it a judge.
You know that you only have to dip your pinky into it and taste it. You don't have to drink it like that.
Okay, I dip my pinky into it.
All right.
And now your pink is gone.
It's a little oily, and it starts to smoke as it comes into contact with the air. Do you taste it?
Dude, it's the black oil.
Nope.
Wait, it is. What the fuck?
I plug it up. Actually, I checked that patch of grass that we were at. Like we're still in that same area, right?
Yes.
Okay, I use the thing right. Pour like a couple droplets into the grassy area.
As soon as the liquid touches the air, it starts to evaporate. When it hits the ground, it evaporates faster and creates a small little um, pillar of black smoke.
I try and would I be able to use my history for this?
You're what?
would I be able to use my my history class and see if there was anything about this? Maybe it's like
Yeah, you've all
Molotov
taken
or
potion
something.
classes. Go ahead. Roll your history.
How?
Oh, it's just black smoke. You're not sure what the implications are. And it
I need to
dissipates rather
see my
quickly.
roll. I have seen 18 too many times.
Right? Would I recognize anything
Go ahead and
on this?
roll a check.
What
History,
is it?
history or arcana. History will give you knowledge from a class you've taken. Arcana will give you more of your guesstimation as to what magic this is.
Did you say history or arcana?
Yes.
I happen to be proficient in history.
What was that, Ava? Either way, you can't make heads or tails of it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You
I'll join
guys,
in on the.
you
I'll
guys
join in on the
roll
history.
a lot of similar rolls. Claude, you feel like this is from the evocation spell, but spell school, and that this particular potion will create a big ol' circle of darkness. You have to use the entire potion for the darkness to stick, though. And usually you do it by breaking the bottle open, and the cloud will center itself upon the breaking point.
I don't know. Dollars to donuts? It looks like motor oil.
What's motor oil?
It's a fucking X
It's
Files
oil
bit.
that the
What's an
the
X
gnomes
Files?
use. It's a file for the gnomes.
That's true, actually.
Also, more motor oil isn't black, you degenerate.
Dollars
It
to
is after a
donut
certain
skull.
point in
This is
time.
probably just one of them gnomish drinks.
Nothing suspicious here.
Look, if we encounter whatever that thing is that was apparently stalking them, just throw this at it and then we'll run. And leave Chud behind.
That's not gonna happen.
Hey, think of it as the best thing that's happened to you in quite some time. So, north?
No, south.
Well, it says here in the book there's an abandoned city or town somewhere around here. And then there's mountains with snow, and then there's a desert.
I mean, the magical, creepy cabin told us to find the village. Not the village, the city. Maybe it's the city it wants us to find. Maybe if we find it, we can get out of here.
What?
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 What
See,
do you mean?
you would have known this if you weren't cowering away while we went to the cabin in the woods.
No, what?
I
That
thought we told you about the city.
Nope.
I could have sworn we got sidetracked maybe.
we were
What?
told we're told to find a lost city. This is probably the lost city that we're supposed to find.
What lost city?
Oh, lost city.
There really wasn't any more instruction than that we were sent here to find the lost
Wait,
city.
who told you?
Claude's just gonna start
It was
walking northeast.
It was on a plaque inside the little shack that we went into. And before it burned down, we read the plaque and everything caught on fire. So somebody left it
Okay,
there as like a message to us.
And you're just gonna do whatever a plaque tells you to do?
No, I'm kind of trying to get out of here, but it sounds interesting.
Why?
I feel like we might be stuck here till we find it. That's my personal reasoning, but
Claude's still walking northeast.
Okay.
I will not follow Claude. I'm still reasoning with Ava.
Now who's splitting whose party?
I really don't care. I am eating my crab. I'm gonna rationalize it as crab. It's a land crab.
A big
Nom
old
nom nom.
land crab.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sleep. It's time to sleep. It's like
It is. We should just stay
6
here.
p.m. Yeah, I don't know what Claude is doing. He should keep walking though.
Yeah, I should probably click those hours. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still overcast. It's starting to get a little colder. Still bright as the sun diffuses through the clouds.
I think we should probably camp here for today though.
I mean, I already had a bonfire going for that explicit purpose.
I thought that was for the crab barbecue.
All right. Do you guys stick around and just camp here while Claude walks off to the northeast?
Yep, I will eat some crab.
Yeah, we're gonna clamp.
Claude will see that they're just sitting there and head back.
All right. You guys camp down for the night or the day into the night.
I will remind Claude that nothing ever happens.
Let's do 2 of these. Okay. About a couple hours before sundown, a large bird lands nearby your guys' camp and starts picking at the rest of the spider carcass that was left behind.
How large of a bird?
The size of a turkey, a small turkey.
What kind of bird?
Raptor-ish.
Big chicken?
Big chicken. Aside from that, nothing else really happens. You guys can sleep through the night.
Yep.
And we can move on to the daytime.
You're all dead.
I think we died when we got here.
And we are just wandering in the swamp of purgatory.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys awaken. Your fire has gone out somewhere in the middle of the night. The spider carcass looks like it's been picked clean and there's bugs all over it.
Okay.
There are normal sized centipedes crawling around it, not big sized centipedes.
Oh, thank God.
And a handful of beetles.
Just the normal ones.
A rat or two. who are also picking off some of these centipedes and eating them. But it is daytime. This is your third day in the swamp?
We've been here forever.
It's a little bit warmer today than it was yesterday. It's still overcast.
Yep.
What do you guys do?
What? Are we gonna walk east, west, west?
Neast. We're
So
gonna
what
walk
direction? Yeah, what direction are we going?
West.
I don't know. We should probably both. I don't want to go north or northeast to a desert or ruins of a city. I want to go anywhere else.
The black said go to the city.
Well, let's go south then.
I think we can keep wandering southeast and be fine.
All right. Do you guys go halfway and walk southeast? Or do you go south? Or northeast?
We're gonna walk southeast.
Southeast it is. All right. You guys know the routine? Wisdom and or perception checks from all of you, and if you're navigating, roll me a survival or intelligence check. Or survival or wisdom check.
Fucking blind, dude.
Yeah, I'm blind.
All right. You guys walk on to the southeast. You feel like you're going in the right direction. You're not straying from your target path, as far as you know.
I will be marking trees on the way.
Okay. You mark trees. I imagine you just cut them with a dagger.
Yes.
All right. Somewhere along the way, maybe 40 minutes through your trek, Moya and Ava, you notice a large black piece of cloth hanging from a branch on a tree above you.
I look up.
It's not too high up. If you could climb into the tree and grab it if you pleased, but it looks like a black shawl.
Okay.
Do you retrieve it?
Yeah. I pull on it and let it drop to the ground.
Okay. It falls into the swampy mud waters that you guys are trudging through. It is a large black shawl.
Are there any pockets or?
No,
Yeah.
but it is the one side looks like normal black cloth, cotton. The other side is a lot darker. And also to note, it doesn't seem to have attracted any mud onto it, even though it fell into the swamp water. As a matter of fact, it
Neat.
dries rather quickly.
Cool cape. I put on a cool cape.
All right. For your second hour of walking south, do the checks. The checks. Everyone do the checks. Forgot about that. Wisdom or perception, and then
The checks.
navigator's check for navigating.
It's not getting any better.
It's funny how you guys always have like the same sort of distribution for this game. Moya, do yours.
Got it. Hold on.
I need to see who is the most aloof of you.
I'm gonna make a divination check, and then look at Claude, and then kind of hide my face.
Wait, just wisdom check.
Wisdom or perception? Very unaloof. I guess I will roll the tiebreaker here. Odd will be Ava. Even will be Claude. Ava, as you're navigating through these trees and marking them along the way, you don't feel like you've come across any of your markings, but as you're trying to get heads or tails of where you are, you trip over something heavy and hard in the swamp water and land face first into the mud.
I will clean my face with the cloth, with the cape that mayonnaise has.
All right? Clean your face off, and the mud soon tracks off the shawl.
Handy. Right, there's something there. I will take the stuff and poke it with the stuff.
Yeah, you poke something, and it seems rather sturdy. It's either rock or metal. It does budge slightly when you poke at it.
It's probably a dwarf.
Can we see in the water what it is?
Muddy water. You gotta pull it out if you want to see it.
Ugh. I will see if I can try and reach down and make heads or tails of what I'm trying to pull out.
Okay. You can find it. You can find things to hold on to. It seems like it has the familiar shape of a suit of metal.
Another dwarf?
Do you try to get it up and out of the water? You could probably prop it
Yes.
up against one of these tree roots. All right.
Yes.
You do it. You drag whatever this object is to the nearby tree root and prop it up. And it is, in fact, a dwarf. However, this dwarf
Ugh.
is missing his head. And
Is there any
give me an actually I'll just give it to you. The dwarf has no shoulder armor. Wait, no. Never mind. Forget that. The dwarf has his full plate armor except for his head. What were you saying?
does he have any insignia on him?
You can wipe the mud off and there are insignias. It looks familiar to you. It seems like the same insignia that the other two dwarves had on
Okay.
their stuff. There is a satchel bag slung around one shoulder, precariously hanging
I'll
on.
take the satchel back.
You
I
take
will
the
open the satchel bag.
No, how do you open if I have it?
Haru took it already? What the fuck? Everyone in this party has sticky hands, sticky fingers.
You're not children, you're loot goblins. You
I
take the
know,
satchel
for
bag.
somebody named Ava, that makes sense. Hold up.
I'm a
You know,
fumo.
hold up. That makes sense.
God forbid there's a good wrist armor in here. You look through the bag. There is a flask. There is a book. There is a scroll. And I think that's
Yeah,
it.
I roll neat on all of those.
All right, you rolled 100. They're yours.
Fuck this loot council. What
You
the
have
fuck?
earned the needy achievement.
I actually did 100.
Yeah, that's funny. All that flask is very familiar to you. It is the same flask that you took a sip of drink from a day ago.
Nice. Now I have solvent.
Wait, so it's the exact same flask, or does it look different?
It's the same flask. There's a little dent on the corner that Ava recognizes that I did not mention before because I just made it up right now.
It's the same dwarf.
Well, I mean, you can't tell. He has no head.
We're in
Hey,
hell.
I recognize this flask. This is that dude from before.
The one we saw a day ago.
The mad dwarf, yeah.
Oh, there's also a pouch in the bag. It's full of coins. They're
Right?
all.
I take them all.
Some of
How
them are a
much?
mix of Lights Watch coins. Some of them are the strange minting of gnomish coins. And there's a handful of dwarven silvers.
Alright, how much do I get?
23 silver. 17 copper.
Okay. Alright, so what else was in there were scrolls, what else? A flask.
Scrolls, a flask, the coin pouch, and a book.
Uh-huh.
Like a
Okay.
journal.
Can I read the book?
Do you know Dwarven?
We need Rowan.
Can I read the book?
Do you know Dwarven?
I
It's
will
all in Dwarven.
pretend that I do.
Yep. Looks like you found the I win button. Just cast the scroll, and it'll take you to your most desired objective.
You really want us to use the scroll, huh?
Okay, but it has to have a catch. It can't be that simple.
You know, does the dwarf have his weapon on him?
It's not in hand. It's not slung on him. You could probably root around in the monitor to see
Lord.
if it's there.
I'm gonna go back and see if I can find his weapon.
Alright,
Alright.
what's the scroll? Does it say anything?
The scroll is not a magical scroll, and it is written in common.
What does it say?
It says they are orders. They this fuck, what was his group's name? The Southern Star the Southern Star Squad is to accompany the gnomish wizard, and like the wizard part is written in like bold italics and underscored. And the priestess from Light's Watch. Oh fuck, what was the gnome's name? I was supposed to say his name. Geronicus Black, the gnome, and the priestess on loan from Light's Watch, Maya Rosewood, to investigate the arcane anomalies north of Calibran's Folly. You are to simply act as security, and the gnome is to do all the work, while the priestess is to make sure no harm comes to you. Do so, and
So I
you'll be
guess
rewarded in Obstinite, as well as a temporary, what is it called? A temporary approval status.
that didn't happen. Can I read the book?
The book is in Dwarven.
Can I pretend to read the book?
You can pretend to read the book. If you want, you could give me a history check for the book and its cover. It's a book. It's a Dwarven book.
Is it in Dwarvish?
Yep.
I see.
Missing Round Doll so much.
Chud. How long do you plan on rooting around the water for his weapon?
A little while. I just want to, I don't see if he died with it on him or nearby him. Maybe find his head.
Yeah. You root around in the water, and eventually you come across something solid. And it moves slightly, so it's not a tree root. You reach down, you grab it, and you, with all your might, lug out, or at least prop up, the haft of his maul.
Is it dark?
I don't know
Well,
why he wants his maul when that maul like is heavier than us.
I wasn't gonna take it with me. I'm just curious if he was disarmed or how was the dwarf beheaded so easily when we saw him literally just yesterday.
Something ate his head.
When you have his maul, there are
He's
signs of wear, particularly on the haft. It looks like somewhere closer to the bottom of it, it was splintered a bit. If you try to yank the maul onto drier ground to take a look at the head of it, you'll see that part of it has been chipped away. Actually, rather than chipped away, about a fourth of it looks like it's been cracked off.
didn't we technically leave the dwarf behind as well? How do we walk into him?
He can also walk. Have you considered that?
But who was walking in
We-
But who was
He
floating?
was. He had
He was-
lost his shit, and we left him behind.
Okay, so we walked east. So he was west. So if he walked southeast and we started walking southeast, we found him now.
Southeast specifically.
Or port or starboard.
Kolagarn's left.
That's for everything that's happened in this campaign, that's fitting.
Counterclockwise.
I'll give this to you. Claude. As the mud starts to slowly roll off the dwarf's armor, you'll notice that there are 2 puncture marks closer to his waist, and then there is what looks like a patch of melted metal that's burnt straight through by his shoulder.
Good news, guys. It has fangs and acid.
Yeah, see, something ate his head. Okay, maybe we don't walk south, I guess.
Well, I mean,
Chud, pick a direction.
no.
We go left or right? Then I go dig through Ava's coin bag that they found.
It's a bunch of silvers and coppers from
Got
various
it. Left or
places.
right?
Let's
Left or
go
right? North or south?
east,
Which one are we going?
northeast.
Yeah. Well, no. So I'm gonna flip a silver and a copper piece. So silver goes east west, copper goes north south.
They're both going to be heads.
I flip them.
Right. Which direction is heads or tails?
Heads is north, tails is south, or copper. Silver is so east is heads, or no, west is heads, tails is east.
How about roll the copper one now, and then heads is north, and then south is okay.
Heads is tails and west is east.
All right. So you're going north now. East or south? Roll another d2. East will be 2. West will be
We're going northeast.
We're going back the way we came.
No, that would be
Well,
northwest, retard.
No, I've
Not
just
quite.
said 2 is east.
going northeast.
So we're still going east, just north this time.
Okay. You guys start walking. You know the routine. Give me your checks, perception or wisdom, and then navigator rolls an additional wisdom or survival.
Sorry, I just had to get the appropriate song.
Balling the fuck out, honestly.
I hate you so much, Chad.
Well, you guys are, I don't know, maybe rattled by the fact that you just found that dwarven warrior has gone mad a day ago, dead in the swamp, head missing, something obliterated him. You guys are distracted. Ava, however, you're aware of everything. Your surroundings, slight movements, noises, the fact that the mud you're trudging through is a little bit deeper than usual. And then you see a glint out of the corner of your eye, off into the trees, sort of wedged between the tree roots. Little flash of gold.
I dive.
Ava, you dive into the water. The rest of you see this happen. What do you guys do?
If you look at the song's
What the
lyrics,
fuck?
it's actually kind of funny when you mention gold.
Is that right?
I guess we follow after Ava.
You guys all dive into the swamp water?
I'm not gonna dive, but I'm gonna try and like get
Duck.
near where.
Hit the deck. Oh yeah, all you guys recovered 2 cantrip points, by the way. Forgot that for your short rest.
Martyrs.
Okay, you guys dive. Well, take cover. Ava, you do the full monster hunter run away from the monster, dive into the water. Everything's still for a moment. Nothing happens.
Nothing ever happens.
It's true. I am truing right now.
He's laying a truth nuke.
That's that when Chud's like a level 15 30-year-old, it's gonna be truth nuke instead of fireball.
Ava, you get up,
You can't use those, you dumbass.
covered in mud. That
Alright,
little
give me
glint
your
of
cape.
gold still off there in the distance, though.
I clean up with the cape and I follow the glint of gold.
Okay. You follow the glint of gold.
After
Actually,
cleaning up the cape.
after cleaning up the cave. Actually, I need to look this up. This is an old thing. It might not actually be a glint of gold. Hold on.
It's not a glint of gold. It turns out it's just a minotaur.
You're all dead.
Honestly, that's the good ending.
Let's see. No, this is not the right page.
Hey, maybe it's not Goldhide, maybe it's Electrum.
That shit doesn't exist here.
Electrum's real though.
Nah.
No, like it's legitimately real.
It's
No.
Gallium.
Doesn't exist.
It literally exists.
It was deleted from the universe. One of the architects is like, what the fuck is this shit?
It can't. Electrum is literally an alloy of gold and silver.
Nope, deleted. Gold and silver just make a gold or a silver or silver. Oh, I thought I changed this item. Maybe I did. This one's the old version. You approach the glint of gold. It looks like a headdress of some sort. Maybe like what's the hood of a nun's outfit? That's the habit, right? Or is that the full suit?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
that's
habit.
the habit.
Looks like a habit with little gold lining along the front. It is pure white.
Put it on Moya.
I wear it.
Okay. You wear the habit. You feel
Let's keep
pretty
going.
and pure. But also, you hear the thumping, rhythmic thumping, coming out from 3 separate directions, all close to you.
Do we all hear it?
Nope, just Moya. It's just
Okay.
dun, 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 dun,
I will
dun, dun,
cast
dun.
disguise self and I will look like a boy.
Okay.
Why?
I
Just in
take
case.
it off and I put it. I put the habit on Claude.
Okay.
I'm a guy.
As soon as you take it off, you stop hearing that thumping, and then Claude, as soon as it gets onto your head, you hear the thumping. Dun, 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 dun,
Thumping,
dun,
right?
dun.
Yeah, thumping.
Okay, I take it off Claude's head. Put it
You
back
should
on
keep it
mine.
on. But maybe we'll be able to find what the thumping is. Maybe it's like a signal fire for whoever it belongs to.
Maybe it's whatever killed the priest or priestess rather.
Do you see a body?
No, but I can't imagine it's very far off.
Yeah, but why the hell would she have a or a innate magic equipment that would just thump, 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 thump?
Thump,
Who
thump,
knows?
thump, 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 thump.
Damn it, she has her playlist on loop and it's broken.
It's the wrong D&B track. Yep, but you continually hear that as long as you wear it, Moya.
Okay, I try and track. You said there was 3, right?
Mhm.
I kind of like try and visualize where the 3 areas are, like where they're coming from.
Roll me actually no. I don't need to roll that. You try and figure this out, and it becomes very apparent to you. Maybe you move a bit, maybe you rotate as you turn around and try to see where the sounds are coming from. They're emanating from your 3 classmates.
Okay, guys, go far away from me. Like everyone move to the left.
Why?
Just do it.
Why?
Move where?
To the left of me. Because like I'm in the like they're like wingmanning me, right? Or something.
Yeah, they're all kind of around you.
Okay.
I will
Actually,
move to the left a bit.
yeah. Everyone just one side.
They all move, and the sounds move with them. And the further they get, the less intense the thumping becomes.
Okay. Neat. Uh I move away from them. I kinda gauge how far they are.
Same deal. The further you get from them, the less intense the thumping becomes. How far do you wish to move?
50 feet away.
Before you finish your movement, actually, no. I want to say at the very end of your movement, the thumping is nearly silent, but when you try to focus on the thumping itself, it's still there. Just barely louder than the general sounds of the swamp.
Huh. It's just detect light or what? Kinda would I be able to do a history check on if I can kind of summarize if there was a spell like this or artifact
Um,
like
Go ahead. And where's Moya from in the world?
Velador?
Oh god, it's a racist.
Yeah, you haven't noticed?
Hell yeah.
Um, you
Wait, does this mean? Sorry to interrupt. Does this mean Moy's a self-hating racist?
Moya's not an elf.
I don't know. He's a human.
No, self-hating because they're a mage.
A little bit.
Kinda.
You recall stories from Velador about assassins, an assassin or two from the east somewhere, probably still in the west though, that have the uncanny ability to know when somebody is nearby without having to see them or hear them. Uh, from what you know about magic from your schooling, there are spells that you can use to track creatures. However, them having some sort of auditory or proximity based location ability isn't very common. It's in fact quite powerful.
Neat. Wait, does this mean this priestess wasn't actually a priestess?
Do you say it out loud?
Yeah. I don't really say anything. I just kind of like hold on. Fuck.
Moya, give me a perception check. As you have this revelation, you notice that there is a sound of water rustling behind you.
Okay. I uh I use the staff to teleportation to teleport back to my classmates.
Okay? Roll a d20. And then a d100. You aim the staff towards your classmates. You focus on it like you did before, and Moya disappears. And this time, instead of going directly towards your direction, you end up going. Ew.
Underground, you're dead.
You
Rip.
end up. You end up blinking perpendicularly to them. They end up teleporting like
You end up inside Claude.
25 feet to the right.
We're both dead.
Oh, okay.
And then you hear that splashing again. And then it kind of gets a little erratic. And it stops for a bit. Hey, I didn't do that fast enough. I forgot to Haru proof my stream. Thanks. Noir. That's all
What
it
happened?
was. It's just a funny cold blonde lady saying an elven slur. You look to your left and you see a large snake just sort of scoping out the situation. It's a big snake.
Snakes aren't venomous.
Well, what do you guys do?
The snake's looking at us.
It's looking around and it's kind of looking for the person closest to it, and it's kind of moving towards Moya again.
I kind of run off.
I think we fleet the snake as well.
Okay. You flee the snake. I imagine you guys continue moving in where you assume is northeast.
Yeah.
All right. Shoot, where was that page? How fast does this thing move? Oh yeah. It doesn't pursue for very long. All right. Roll checks for travel. Wisdom or perception. Navigator does. Wisdom or survival.
Perception.
I think I've hit the same range this entire game.
It is very interesting how that happens.
It serves you right after last game. You and your jinx.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Damn. Nothing ever happens.
As you guys are walking, and you're assuredly going in the right direction, you come across the carcass of a large hydra.
Oh no.
You know, there might just be no way out of the swamp.
Its 4 heads, all removed from its necks.
And what killed it? A rabbit or a deer?
It's very. I bet on the rabbit.
Is it like a clean cut or like jagged?
The cuts on its neck are clean. The rest of its body, however, has a bunch of those puncture marks, same as the dwarf.
How long's it been dead?
Maybe a day.
Okay,
will
so it died before the dwarf. So we're safe to keep going this direction.
I will collect some of the hydra acid.
Give me an intelligence check. You would know that the acid glands are all in the head.
Yeah? Oh, wait,
Heads
it
are
doesn't
all
have
gone.
heads? Yeah, okay.
All 4 of them. Put a note. 312. Harmu makes CM say the bad word.
Don't I have 5? Where's the 5th?
Hanging.
No, there's just 4 necks. 4 necks without a head. And a bunch of puncture marks.
Are Hydra edible?
Has it been rotting?
Can roll a survival check for that. And it doesn't
You
seem
know-
to have decayed too much.
You guys are going to be amazed by this roll. It's going to be the
I will
best roll you've ever
collect
seen.
the Hydra scales, though.
You can collect Hydra scales. They're easy
Yep,
enough
that's
to pry
what
off
that-
with a
yep.
knife.
Yep, I will collect Hydra scales.
Okay.
Welcome to my roll range.
You have no idea if Hydra are edible. It's not something you've ever had to learn.
I'm going to kill your necromancer.
All right.
You can't.
You guys want to do anything here, or you gonna move on to the next
Keep going.
non-happening?
I think I'm going to, continue to pretend that none of this happens and nothing will happen.
True to his character, that nothing ever happens. Navigation checks.
Nat 20, baby.
Okay.
Will it be a 15 or a 14 next?
Ava, you feel like you're getting a little lost again. You're not sure if you're still heading east.
But we're still going north.
Northeast. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you're going northwest.
Can I hear anything or thumping from my habit?
Yeah, you hear 3 sets of thumping.
Okay, only 3 right now.
Only 3. Let's see.
Actually, you know what? Since I remember
3
it was
sets
like
of thumping, no sets
was-
of flapping.
no clapping. Since I remembered it was like assassin kind of thingy. Would I be able to focus on one of the thumping?
You can try.
I try while I'm walking. And
When you
like
focus on the thumping, how do you do it? Do you just pick
kind of
a set of
yeah,
thumps?
yeah, I pick a set of thumps that I kind of make out which one it is, and then I look and open my eyes to check which person it kind of belongs.
Right? You do that, and I feel as if you expect for that thumping to intensify. Instead, the thumping mutes. So you only hear 2 sets of thumps.
Okay, I now look at Claude,
Mm-hmm.
and I focus on his thumping.
Mm-hmm. Now that set of thumps mutes. You no longer hear Claude's.
Neat. I hop up in joy. And then I focus on Ava.
Same deal. As soon as you focus on Ava's thumping, uh, and have her within view, the thumps go away.
Neat. Okay.
Now you hear no thumping.
Okay. I take it off and I put it back on Claude. Who I put it on earlier.
Okay. Claude,
If he lets me.
if you allow the habit to rest upon your head, you hear 3 sets of thumping.
It's the same as it was before, Moya.
Got it. I take it off. Seems like it's broken for you.
All right.
I put it back on.
Okay. You hear 3 sets of thumping.
Okay, I do the same thing again.
You mute all the thumps.
Neat.
But you notice it only happens when you're looking at the person you're attempting to mute, or at least have them within your vision.
But if I look away, I turn my back around, and then does the thumping come back or no?
Nope.
Yeah. So it seems like I can mute all the thumps right when I put it on.
As you guys are walking, I've decided to make this a 2-hour trek instead of a 1. Who passed their checks? Claude, you see a white piece of cloth wedged between some tree roots.
Well, we found a habit, so Moya, you're about to become a nun. Go and pull the cloth from the tree roots.
As you do, like 3 or 4 daggers fall out from between the roots and the habit. And it is, well, not a habit, a robe. Robe?
Same daggers as the one from before.
Cassock. There we go. No, these are normal daggers. They don't have that thorn branches on them. They don't have the rose etchings or anything like that. They just look like
Okay, I'll
regular
exchange the
daggers.
regular daggers for my thorn dagger. I want mine back. I pulled it out when these 3 stooges couldn't.
Oh, we loosen it for
I
you?
take the life
Fuck
dagger.
you.
Yeah, I take the life dagger.
No, it's mine. You get the new dagger.
I get the normal daggers.
Yeah,
Got it.
and you get the cassock.
Okay.
You have this very large cassock. It looks like it's made for a very tall person. And from, I guess, what Claude knows, and maybe what you guys remember of Light's Watch, the priest and priestess robes there tend to be more form-fitting. This one seems to be one for a very tall person who is a little bit hourglass shaped.
Yeah,
Damn.
I unfurl it and I check it.
It is much too big for you.
I get very pissed off.
Much too big in all dimensions.
I check its pocket in just anger.
No pockets. Actually, the sleeves have pockets.
Yeah, I check the pockets there.
You'll find a couple more daggers.
Huh.
You'll also notice, like your shawl, the water and mud that you may have gotten on this while unfurling it kind of just leak right off.
Okay. Oh, no one else is gonna use it. I cut it down the middle and use it as a cloak. Look, if Ava can have her dark,
Right, what
dark
about
cloak,
2 girls in
I'm
a
gonna
priestess
use-
cassock?
you mean we can't even wear this? It's gonna be like it's like 2 midgets in a trench coat.
Yes.
I look at Ava. Let's try it.
Right? You stand on one of each other's shoulders and don the cassock. It is much too big for both of you.
We have to combine.
Damn, I've taken 10 emotional damage. I'm
How
fucking
tall
dead.
are the two of you?
Like 4'9".
It is a very tall priestess.
It's
Because
a very tall priestess. The
like,
bottom
we're
of the
like
dress.
what, 4 feet each?
The bottom of the dress is like ends at the bottom person's upper thighs. I want to say.
Damn. Okay. Never mind. We can use it as a tent. I pack it up into a roll in a pack and roll it up and tie it to me or something.
All right. You guys keep walking.
Yep.
During this next hour, it starts to rain.
Yeah. I use the Cossack as cover. I tell everyone else to get underneath it since it's that big.
You walk around it like one of those New Year's dragon costumes.
Yeah.
I will join the New Year's Dragon costume. Is there any shelter nearby, or are we still out in the middle of fucking nowhere?
You're still kind of out in the middle of nowhere. You can look up, see the clouds, see the midday sun behind those clouds, but it's raining on you.
Is it a red sun over
Nope.
paradise?
This is not paradise. There is no red sun.
It's a red moon, though.
And then all that other shit that doesn't make sense.
Wait, the moon was waxing, right?
Yes, waxing crescents.
Okay, so no full moons then.
No. Pretty far away from
Thank
full
God.
moons.
Thank God.
Give me a new set of checks.
Those are exactly the same rod. One of those
I
is exactly the same
I
rod.
got exactly +1 for my last one. I have bounce +1 or -1 for my rolls.
This is crazy. It's just so... I don't get it. It's
There
funny.
has to be a weight somewhere. It doesn't make sense.
It's funny, but I do not get it. You guys roll... Well, I mean, you are rolling over 10 more consistently, but your scores are so low that it doesn't matter. I guess that is kind of the point of this game. Could someone give me an intelligence check? Preferably not Ava, because she's navigating. And by somebody, I mean everybody who isn't Ava. Okay.
Whoa!
Moya, Claude, while Chud is thinking of nothing happening,
He's a chud.
you feel like you've recognized something that's been going on for a bit that you haven't seemed to notice until now.
Which is...
There's this strange clicking noise that's been following you guys, and it's getting closer and closer.
So why is this priestess undressing in the middle of the swamp?
She was getting freaky with the snakes.
Wait,
White woman behavior.
Hive, is
It's
the
true.
clicking in the sound, is that being controlled by you?
Yes.
Holy shit, I thought it was part of the music.
Therefore, it worked.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, this noise has been following you since you guys found the dead dwarf.
Oh boy.
Uh,
You know,
the book-
surely if we keep walking, we'll be fine.
yes. Well, the thing is, the book did say that on drier land, that's where they were getting stocked, but they were getting stocked on the outsides of this.
I'm pretty sure the book said it stocked in drier land.
In drier land.
Let's go wetter.
We are in wetlands.
Let's go
Nerd.
wetter.
We can't get any wetter without getting in trouble, without getting like trench foot.
Okay, so are we gonna keep walking, or are we just gonna
Keep
stay
walking.
in?
I mean,
Okay, let's keep walking.
why are we stopping?
Let's pick up the pace.
All right, you guys pick up the pace. Make the checks. Are you guys actually picking up the pace?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, make your checks at disadvantage.
It's
-4.
-2, right?
Balling the absolute fuck
What's
out.
this?
Wisdom or perception, and then your navigation checks all at -4. And a -4 penalty.
Oof.
The funny thing, by the way, I noticed it sounds like wow. This is this is an interesting OST. Yeah.
Dude, what?
Did he roll nat ones back to back?
I won't say it, but yes. So you guys pick up the pace. You're no longer walking through the mud. You're jogging, running. You're running through the mud trying to put this clicking sound behind you. And it does seem to be getting a little bit further away. And as you're running, Moya, a heartbeat starts to pick up as you're wearing the habit. But
From where? Which side?
it feels like it appeared out of nowhere, and it was incredibly intense, as if you were standing right next to it, like you were previously with your classmates.
Oh.
As you turn to look to where it's coming from, you see a large creature leap out of the mud as it barrels towards the lot of you. And
Is that the thing making a clicking noise?
we're gonna pause it there until next week.
We should have just kept going southeast, actually.
Okay, to be fair, the
On the
clicking noise
next
has been,
episode of Dragon Ball Z.
the clicking noise has been happening like the entire session.
Yeah, I've been playing the clicking noise since you guys found the dwarf. I've been
Yeah.
making it progressively louder each time.
I thought it was just part of the track. That's actually insane.
I did notice the volume changing, but I wasn't sure if that was actually like part of the track.
Yeah,
I just assumed since it was environmental. Yeah,
I thought it was
since
going to be a bit too
environmental.
cheesy and noticeable, but I was pleasantly surprised with how it came out.
Neat.
All right.
We're being followed by a woodpecker.
I think it's worse than a woodpecker. I gotta be honest. It's probably a lot worse.
No, but the sound's definitely a woodpecker.
It's out there.
The truth is out there, Scully.
I don't know, Scully. It just sounds like a woodpecker to me.
Honestly, it's a better way of doing sanity checks.
You fucker! Oh god, I looked it up because I'm like, wait, what else sounds like a woodpecker?
Don't share with the class.
I hate you.
Unless you say its real name, which I'm pretty sure nobody knows. Well, that was fun. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of thinking that this should just be the new campaign.
Hi,
least
do you
yet,
mean
or so.
the Y word?
Yes. Yaocha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I think. Not as tired as I was last time. Still am though. I did come home early though, so it was a little bit better. Next week we're all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just gotta
Yes,
make sure to take
Perhaps.
notes.
I think.
I mean, we're gonna play regardless, even if there's just two of you or one of you, and then you guys could come back to a dead party. So
Hell yeah. I'll let you know if anything changes next week.
yeah, good. I'm going to
Don't worry,
turn
we're gonna make you
this.
fucking bonfire it directly.
Yeah, Chad is getting his mandate at the Chinese GF.
I told you I'm holding out. I'm not getting the Chinese GF.
You know what? Because Chud's not gonna be here.